Hello, everyone. I know it has been a little bit. I have been just enjoying my journey, my transformation. But I want to share some information, and the information that I want to share with you, I want it to be different from the other videos that you may have seen. I want to be able to take the time to really dive in to what matters to me the most, and hopefully it will be beneficial for you as it relates to my GLP-1 journey, my life-changing journey. One, I wanted to just start by, I am not a medical doctor. However, I am a psychologist. So a lot of things that I connect with has to do with the psychological side of things and how my journey is impacting me mentally, physically, emotionally. So just to begin, again, I am not here to give any medical advice. I'm just sharing with you my experience. And just keep in mind that there are other components that may result in what you may be going through. So make sure you consult your doctor. So one, I wanted to just start off saying how things could look a little different when being on a GLP-1. I am on Mounjaro. I started off on the 2.5. I am now going into my 4th week of the 5 milligrams. So this will make my 8th week being on this GLP-1. Yes, it was prescribed by my doctor. I actually have a doctor that I see. I don't go through a website to do anything. No, I see my primary care physician. She has been my physician for a very long time. Two, she has been able to monitor my my blood workup on a consistent basis, such as like quarterly. So everything that has been recommended for me is by me being her patient. Two, this was introduced to me through her. So I didn't go asking for it. I wasn't looking for a magic anything. Being pre-diabetic, we found out that my A1C was at an 8, which I kind of noticed some changes. If you know your body well enough, you will know that a little bit of neuropathy in fingers, your toes. If you notice slight changes like that, even in your hair, I'm a retired cosmetologist, so for me, I notice that there can be some changes in certain areas of your hair. And when you know that something is going on, you must get it looked at. If not, it can lead to other complications, which you really need to be honest, not with just yourself, but with your doctor. I'm very honest with my doctor. One of the things that she do know about me is that I enjoy having red wine, especially with seafood, especially with Italian food. Not on a regular basis, but of course with other added sugars, yes, that could be a problem. So in regards to the sugar, keep in mind, like your A1C, just see your doctor because it has a lot to do with your nutrition intake, your family history. It could be so many different things. So just keep that in mind. So the reason why my doctor put me on, she actually offered, she didn't just put me, she brought it to my attention. When she introduced Mounjaro to me, the first thing I thought about was giving myself a shot, right? The one thing that I did not want to do is for my A1C to get out of hand and I had to prick myself to test my levels, or I didn't want to do that. I don't mind needles if I'm getting blood work done, but for me to do this every day for myself, no. So I wanted to make sure that this was not an everyday thing. Two, Mounjaro, when she introduced it to me, is because I had already brought to her attention about just some things perimenopausal that I'm dealing with. And just putting it all out on the table, just being honest, transparent, and just letting her know what my goals are. So when she introduced Mounjaro to me, I was like, okay, what does it look like? What are some of the side effects? And she was very upfront with some of the things. However, she did mention, because of like my blood work, she saw that was best fitting for me. Some of those additional side effects can come with anything. I mean, even with the foods that we eat can have side effects, right? So I did my research. She started submitting the prescription over. I had to have pre-authorization, and my insurance company it all went through. It was authorized. So the focus of it was for getting my A1C under control, not so much as the weight loss, even though I had initially lost 4 pounds when I went for that appointment. I initially lost 4 pounds, so she knew that I was already working on that. With Mounjaro, yes, it can help with lowering your A1C, but at the same time, with all the other things that it helps with, because it is like a hormone, it has hormonal, I guess, like the hormonal medication. It does something with just regulation. Let me just say that. I'm not a medical doctor, again, but it helps in some of those areas. So I said, okay, after doing my research, and my research was not just by what other people say. I was actually doing medical research, listening to other doctors, just doing things like that. Long story short, here I am. I'm in week 8. I'll be taking my week 8 shot on this coming Friday. So far, and I've said this in some of my other videos, and just be aware that my shorts that I have were because my story is also being shared on TikTok. So this is a complete journey for me. But the only side effect that I have had was a little bit of nausea when I first took the shot, just feeling a little bit of fatigue and lightheaded. But come to find out, proteins, I probably should have upped my protein intake before starting it, but it's all good. I already knew what the issue was, and I started just revamping my food intake, just removing sugars. And one thing I noticed is that, and this is when it gets into the psychological part, I'll dive a little bit deeper in my next video for that, because it gets really deep with that, just the mental side of it. But yeah, just getting the proteins in, just making sure that the protein, the fiber, staying hydrated. Getting dehydrated, just like anything else. If you're working out, you're going to need to make sure you hydrate. So dehydration it's not just because of a GLP-1, but you need to make sure that you're hydrated. I'm going to also, in my upcoming videos, really dive into the how it has changed my thought on eating the foods. That was very interesting, because some of the things that I didn't find myself eating before, I'm eating now. Some of the things I used to desire and want, I no longer want those things. So yeah, so stay tuned for additional information regarding that.